In a game that was filled with some boneheaded plays, great plays, and a potential partnership with Tim Donaghy, there were a few things that had been discussed that had impacted the game greatly, and I wanted to go over those things today. So what had happened? The Celtics were missing Robert Williams and Marcus Smart, who were both great at protecting the paint in their own ways. Robert Williams is one of the best shot blockers in the league, and Smart has the ability to guard 1 through 5. But without the two of them, the Celtics were going to have to get a bit creative. Starting in the second quarter, the Celtics assigned Malcolm Brogdon to Anthony Davis. This was an intentional assignment and not one due to desperation. With Brogdon on AD, Kornet, who is 7'2", could play center field and affect any potential shots. When AD posted up Brogdon, Kornet would help from the corner and then rotate to the open man, most frequently a non-shooter, and then use his height and wingspan to contest the shot. In the pick and roll, Kornet as the low man would provide support to AD rolling and react if LeBron made the pass to the corner. Here, I think LeBron anticipated Kornet diving down to Davis, so he passes it to Rui, but Kornet had taken a step to the corner already, so LeBron actually missed this read. And even when AD was out, Brogdon was assigned to Thomas Bryant for the same reason, to allow Kornet to play center field. Here LeBron gets Hauser on him, Mazzulla tells Tatum to double, and Kornet anticipates the pass to Walker and contests the shot. And so for those 5 possessions before Brogdon went to the bench, the Lakers didn't score. And while this was something that the Celtics didn't do for the whole game, they kept it in their back pocket in case things went awry with their traditional defensive matchups. And it did starting in the fourth quarter. After this Davis slam increased the Laker lead to 7, the Celtics decided to put Brogdon on Davis again to help slow down the LeBron-AD pick and roll. When you play traditional matchups, there's less support in the middle once AD receives the pass because everyone else is smaller. The Lakers also had an opportunity here to score, but LeBron fumbles Westbrook's pass, so by letting the big man play center field, they can provide support in places that they need it. On this play, I did find it interesting that LeBron didn't want to try and move Horford by passing it to Pat Bev, but he did find some success on the few times that he attacked Brogdon. He's 38 now, so he can't do it all the time anymore, but to just show how much of a freight train he still is, look at how Horford, who's supposed to clog LeBron's driving lane, moves out of the way real quick before trying to lazily contest his layup. That's how scary this man still is. But more importantly, I thought AD struggled to fight for post position, especially on smaller players. It looked like he was content with letting the defense dictate where he wanted to go, which made it hard for him to find the shots that he really wanted, especially when a double team was coming relatively early. Brogdon and Tatum would hold his arm and have Horford come over to help on any potential pass, and the Lakers just stopped trying to get the ball to him. Even on the inbound play, the Lakers have AD in the middle of the floor, but Davis doesn't even try to get the ball, and the Lakers don't get it to him, which turns into a Pat Bev fadeaway jumper. They did attempt to counter by running empty side pick and rolls with LeBron and AD, which had mixed results, but was still playing into the Celtics' hand because Horford was ready to defend the roll if it took place. And so LeBron decided to use the pick and roll, accept the switch, and attack Brogdon. The Celtics did not want this to happen, so Tatum helps off Pat Bev, and I love how Hachimura cuts to hold Horford for a split second longer, and Beverly knocks down the wide open 3. Which is a perfect segue into the next part of the video. Not about Beverly, but the importance of cutting to open up space. In a 5-out offense that theoretically creates the most space, teams have gotten better at defending it by dictating what the offense should do. For example, teams will bring additional help to get the ball out of the best player's hands. And because you're intentionally dictating where the ball is going next, it becomes easier to defend if you communicate, which means as off-ball players, you can't really just stand there waiting for the ball anymore. Cutting not only helps you become another option on offense, but it's used to open space on the perimeter for the ball handler to make a play. For example, sometimes you'll see a person cut down from the perimeter to set a pick for an open 3. Here Horford cuts and collapses the defense, and White is able to make the open shot. Compared to here where White is standing in the corner, so Tatum doesn't have room to work and he's forced to take a contested 3. The Celtics had a couple really nice moments of just moving to open space that opened up some 3s. On Brogdon and Horford's pick and pop, Brown and Williams are in the same space, but Brown tells Williams to stand on the wing and he gets an open 3 out of it. And here's my favorite play of the night. Tatum cuts out from the wing to open up a Brown-Williams pick and roll. Horford moves from one corner to the other corner as Brown runs the pick and roll, which is fantastic timing because it puts Thomas Bryant in a predicament. Does he help on the pick and roll or match up with Horford? This play actually ends up in a missed 3, but the cutting and timing of this play was great. With Rob, I'm pretty sure this would be a lob instead of Brown hesitating to throw this to Grant Williams. While Brown is not the passer that Tatum is, his ability to drive into the lane really helped the Celtics stay in this game. His ability to stay under control in these drives, gather himself, and just jump up and shoot it really helped him become an interior presence that the Celtics really needed. He has improved driving left, especially when there's a clear line drive to the hoop, but his most impressive showing was on this elbow jumper. Schroeder tries to hound him and Brown's able to maintain his dribble. He sees Westbrook coming, drives left under pressure, and then pulls up to give Boston a 5-point lead. And it's the same way with Brogdon as well. He has given the Celtics a much needed tertiary ball handler that can get his own shot, especially around the rim. He's not a flashy ball handler, but his ability to use his body frame and drive in a straight line towards the hoop with either hand gave the Celtics a much needed lift as well. He doesn't try anything flashy or isn't looking for a foul because he can overpower smaller guards to the hoop, which might not be the case for Jayson Tatum. I will first say that he has definitely gotten stronger and become a better finisher around the rim compared to last year, but there are still times where he could be inconsistent in that area, especially when it's off the dribble and against bigger defenders. When Tatum is against bigger defenders, he's often trying to draw a foul, and sometimes you might see him in awkward positions. I think part of it is because he's not as comfortable jump stopping and figuring out how to finish over a bigger defender, which is a difficult skill to master. His ball handling was also a bit suspect this game, whether he was dribbling the ball off his defender or losing his dribble, and sometimes he also had a hard time staying in control, especially on drives. In this game, I thought he had more success when he could catch the ball in the paint, take a dribble or two, and score. The Celtics often had Tatum at the elbow, trying to see if he could get position on a smaller guard and get a layup. I hope they can do this more, especially because teams will be hounding him and trying to make it tough on him to create his own shots in the playoffs. He's definitely made some strides, but he's just got to get that consistency up for the Celtics to continue having a great shot at winning. And all of this leads us to the last 18 seconds of the game. The Celtics run a really nice inbound play where they have Tatum run to the corner to get LeBron out of the play. Grant Williams and Jaylen Brown do a little merry-go-round twirl that gets Brown coming off for a wide-open 3, but he misses and Pat Bev gets fouled. He makes one of 2, and here's where the chaos ensues. Brogdon and Tatum run a pick and pop which turns into scramble mode. Horford gets an open 3 that hits the side of the backboard, but Brown gets it and puts it in to make it a 1-point game. But a full 2 seconds later, the back ref calls a foul on Pat Bev for hitting Brown on the head. Now this is probably the latest foul I have ever seen called, and on the replay, it looks like Beverly gets the ball first and then head. So I think it is technically the right call, but I think the ref was unsure whether or not something actually happened and then got peer pressure by the Celtics to call it. After JB hits the free throw, LeBron goes right up to Darvin Ham and he's drawn up the play for himself for the win. While the Lakers were having some trouble with Brogdon on AD, LeBron already has some success when matched up with Brogdon, so he's definitely drawing something up where he could get Brogdon on him going downhill to the basket. Now, interestingly enough, the Celtics matched up Horford with LeBron and Tatum on Troy Brown. I'm pretty sure they thought that Horford was going to end up on Davis, but maybe they wanted Tatum to ironically be the help man. Anyways, LeBron comes off the pin down and he gets exactly what he wants. Brogdon on him driving left and no call before LeBron does his best Cash Nasty Rage impression. This one was clearly a foul, but I was more curious why they had matched Horford up with LeBron in the first place. Either way, it was an interesting defensive assignment, but regardless, the NBA definitely has to implement replay for the last 2 minutes because they shouldn't be missing a call like this. But despite that, I hope you guys were able to see how this game unfolded and the game within the game. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.